Well, welcome to another special watch-along episode of Under the Puppet. My name is Grant Baciocco, and the goal of this series is to invite puppeteers onto the show to watch along some of our favorite clips of puppetry. And for this episode, I'm joined once again by the co-creator of the Nickelodeon series, The Barbarian and the Troll. He's an amazing puppeteer and a great friend, Drew Massey. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Grant. Great to be here.
Very excited to have you here. And today we're watching a clip that I wanted to watch. And that is Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. And I will admit, until probably the beginning of the pandemic, so 2020 or so, I had heard of Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. I had never watched any Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. And then I found a YouTube channel, and there will be a link to this in the show notes, that's called Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. And they have some deal where they are digitizing old episodes of Kukla, Fran, and Ollie, and they just put up like one or two a week, and they just have, I think, over 100 episodes, and they add more all the time. And it was one of those things, as I said, where I'd heard about them, but I had never watched it. And then when I watched it, I was like, this is amazing, and this is very similar to like some of the live stream stuff I do with my own characters. Where it's like one character could be talking to a character off screen, and it's just, it was amazing to me. It's like, this is from 1949, and Bert Tillstrom was already doing this stuff that I love to do, and just doing it so amazing. So do you have any sort of frame of reference of Kukla, Fran, and Ollie?
I don't. I mean, I heard the name, all growing up, and I never really watched any of it because I don't think it was on any of the local channels. It wasn't available,
Yeah.
obviously by internet when I was a kid. I wish I did. But so yeah, and it's exciting that they're putting it all up, because I mean, it's a fun thing to say, Kukla, Fran, and Ollie. So that's why we kids liked it.
Yeah, it's so great. I mean, it's definitely, when you watch this, you're like, okay, this is 1949 TV. Like, he could get away with the pace of this, I think nowadays you would have to have cuts and quick cuts, and, a cut to an animated segment, and then back to more puppets. And, but I find these, and I tend to like older stuff, but I find these really, really fun to watch too. And, from something I read, this clip that we're going to watch was one of Bert Tillstrom's favorite things. And he even would do this live every once in a while. And it's simply called Lemonade. And so let's check out Kukla, Fran, and Ollie and Lemonade, and we will watch it here.
I love that is that a kinescope? Because it was like,
yeah,
was it shot on video and transferred to film? It's great.
Puppet with a knife. It's a good start.
Great start. The danger level is high in this routine. How do you not cut your finger off? So is this one guy doing two characters?
Yeah, this is Bert Tillstrom doing both characters. And he puppeteered from behind, so that wall behind him is actually a scrim that he can see through. He did have a television monitor as well that he could look at, but he's basically puppeteering just directly in front of himself.
Wow. Now is this Kukla?
Yes, this is Kukla. Yeah.
Is Ollie the like lizardy thing with the one tooth?
Yeah.
Okay.
When I first saw this, I was just like, I just had this realization. I go, is he gonna make actual lemonade with a puppet? And it's like the craziest, because when you think, it's like, I think that's kind of before I knew he's right behind it doing it. I thought he was doing it above his head, and I was like, this is amazing. But yeah. Even doing it right in front of you, but with a scrim in front of you, is,
Well, yeah, because you still have to reach under and get. I mean, that's still not easy. I wonder if he sold a lot of lemonade to the crew after he was. Turns out this is how Burr would sell his daughter's Girl Scout cookies. Lemonade and cookies. The cookies will cost you.
You just got to have all this stuff laid out underneath so you can easily grab it. He was such a master, like switching puppets, just really super quick. And
Yeah. Oh man. Wow. I love that he's carefully pouring and then pops up with another character. That's nuts. The full body pour.
what I love about these old shows too is you can hear like the crew laughing sometimes, just with little stuff he did.
He must have been really good at chopsticks. I'm just thinking to get like with two fingers. I guess it'd be your thumb and your ring. He made sure. I could see him like testing out the ring on all the glass pitchers.
Some ice.
Bull McGilla. Spoon again.
Whoa.
Oh. Hmm. That's great. Nope. What's Toy Toy character's name?
I believe it's Bill. He's got a bigger. He's got like a lot. It's like something Bill, I believe. I should have looked that up before we started this, but he's sort of like a Beaker character where he just talks with toy to toy to toy like that.
Yeah. Even looks kind of like Baker. Interesting. Hmm.
I love their little hands holding
Uh-huh.
holding the glass.
I wonder if there's any butyl on it. Just slippery felt. Clean up. That's good lesson
Yeah,
for
you
the
just made
kids.
lemonade. You got to clean up.
Don't leave a messy workspace. Such a performance.
You could just take your time back in 1949.
Good stuff. I mean, you could take your time now. Just put watch till the end, in the
Right.
description.
You won't believe what happens in the last 2 seconds of this.
Won't believe it. Doctors don't want you to see the end. One crazy trick for making lemonade. Do it with puppets.
Kids, that's a cash register, for those of you that don't know what that is.
You've never been to a 7-Eleven to buy smokes. You might not know what that is.
Lemonade. Lemonade. Freshly made. In the shade.
So we will stop our watch along there, but I encourage everyone to check out the end. I mean, the whole episode becomes about him selling lemonade, and he gets everybody else in on it, and it's there's a song and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, when I first saw this, like, it just blew. I go, he's just making lemonade. That's what he's doing with a puppet. It's crazy.
Grant, have you ever thought of taking Toily and doing a thing called a routine called guacamole? Because I think he could
I don't think his hands aren't as grabby as Kukla's hands are.
You would
So
need an assist.
yeah, I would need an assist. Yeah, for sure. I will put a link to this Kukla Fran and Ollie channel in the show notes. Of course, along with a link to this video. I don't know if I remember to do a countdown before we started watching, but hopefully I did. But anyway, yeah, I encourage people to check it out because, compared to stuff you see today, it's not as slick, but it's really good. And he was really good at one person doing 5 different characters and switching between them instantly. And it's really amazing.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. Well, Drew, thank you so much for being on this episode of the show, and we'll definitely have you back to watch more of your favorite puppet stuff as well.
Cool, Grant. Thanks for having me, and you've just encouraged me to use more knives in my puppet routines.
There
So,
we go.
thank
That's
you.
what puppets need, more knives,
That's the takeaway.
especially performed above you. That makes sense now that he performed in front of himself with a knife as
Yes.
opposed to above his head. But
Much
all right.
simpler.
Well, Drew, thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good, Grant. Thanks.